Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of The Box Seat. I'm Brittany Taylor, filling in for Scott Embry, enjoying a very well-deserved week in Exmouth this week. So Lockie Taylor will be filling in on race day, but for The Box Seat this week, I'll be trying to steer you into 7 winners for this midweek program. Let's take a look at the conditions. A top of 18 degrees. It was very, very chilly out at Belmont, I must say, last week, and I think this week may be the same. There's been plenty of showers about as well. The track currently rated a soft 6, and just given how cold it is, I can't see it drying out all that much, so might be a bit of a watch this space on Wednesday morning to see what that track is rated, and we'll see how it plays throughout the day. But at the moment we're going off a soft 6. Race number 1 is the Tab Touch Better Your Bet handicap, 1,000 metres the journey, and I like one here. The horse we're going to have a look at in replay is Timescale, finishing second behind a horse that I think is one worth following, and that's Brooklyn Pier.
Goes 2 walks, then all-day session. Last is Captain Charmaine. It's Madame Torio that led them past the 250. Here's Brooklyn Pier erupting on the outside, though. Timescale got off the leader's back. On the outside, Brooklyn Pier from Timescale as they'd raced inside the last 100. Brooklyn Pier's going better than Timescale. All interest in that battle for third, but it's a winning return for Brooklyn Pier over time.
That was Timescale travelling very nicely in the box seat, only beaten by the progressive Brooklyn Pier. You go back a start before that, she was placed behind Hot Zed. The start prior behind Divine Pair on a heavy 8 as well. Now I note that this horse probably isn't as effective in the soft going as she is on top of the ground, but I still think that placing on the heavy 8 gives us enough of a tick towards Wednesday. I think she's going to be awfully hard to beat with all that form there. In for second, I have Crypto Queen, a soft track winner. This horse only lightly raced, but I like what she's doing early on in her career. For third, Bourbon Bow, the stablemate to Timescale. This horse trailed up nicely ahead of resumption on Wednesday under Tash Faithful, who retains the ride on race day. And in for fourth, Mystical View. This is a horse for Bob Peters that is going through the winter Magic Millions sale, so a watch to see how this horse performs before it changes hands at the end of the month. 2, 4, 3 and 1, my numbers out of the first. Race number 2 is the Peninsula Dining Room Maiden, 1,200 metres the journey, and in replay we're going to have a look at Pinjarra 1,200 metre race. This is where 3 of my 4 top selections come out of. We can see Short Talk, Lead Them Up and Fade, finishing alongside Something Ready, who settled back in the field and finished strongly down the outside, and Talon, who was only a length away from the pair.
Talk. No demerit points leads. Get her right along the rail. They were followed by Talon also getting through about 1 off the fence, and out wider Stella Fair. Something Ready and Just Peachy the widest. Real Senor in the centre also has raced up with Short Talk, but Sketter hugging the rail inside the 100. Real Senor quickly to second. Sketter, Real Senor, Sketter. Sketter a length, Real Senor. 3-way go for third.
I like the effort of Something Ready there first up, finishing strongly down the outside. And you go back to last preparation as well, and this horse ran into some nice types, including the eventual stakes winner in Graceful Girl the day that she won her maiden. So you're pretty stiff to run into a horse like that at a Pinjarra maiden, so I think this horse has plenty of upside. The horse I have in for second and the main danger is Memorable Miss. On the same day at Pinjarra as the race we watched in replay, Memorable Miss also ran over 1,200, and overall the time was slower than the race that was won by Skeeter that we just looked at in replay, but Memorable Miss got home in 33.95 on probably what was the more rain-affected part of the track on the rail. So I do think that horse probably has the superior turn of foot just based on what we saw last start, but I just thought, markets not being out at the time of recording, I just thought we might get a little bit more valuable price there for Something Ready as opposed to the Cerise and White and William Pike factor. In for third, I've got Short Talk, the horse that led them up in replay, and Talon gets a 2 kilo weight swing on the pair that we saw in replay as well, in for fourth. So my numbers for the second event, 6, 7, 8 and 1. Race number 3 is the Crown Towers Handicap, a Class 1 event over 1,000 metres. And in replay, I want to go back only to last Wednesday, and that's the run of PAEROA Lad.
Cutting the corner, City Centre, followed then by McEdith, and around their heels, heading to the middle of the track is First Law, down to the 275. Tavarich put its nose in front. Fire Rand, PAEROA Lad. First Law is running home strongly down the outside with 100 left to go. First Law wide out, grabbed the lead from PAEROA Lad. New Had battling back, but First Law's got the neck in front. First Law beat PAEROA Lad.
PAEROA Lad finishing second to First Law just last Wednesday, so on the 7-day backup for the very first time. I like that effort. I think it's the right form, and I just thought we might see an each-way price for PAEROA Lad. And the start prior absorbed plenty of pressure. I think he's racing well. In for second, High Precision. She broke her maiden at Northam when getting a nice run in behind the speed, just as drawn wide on Wednesday. SCHUHPLATTER had absolutely no chance last start. They walked in front, and those out the back just found it very hard to get into the race. So I'm just completely forgiving that run. Enticing, who's a horse that settled back with SCHUHPLATTER, has since won. So forgive that run completely. And Noble Knight in for fourth, the last start debut winner. My numbers 2, 6, 8 and 1 for the third. Race number 4 is the Amelia Park Lodge Handicap for the Class 3 gallopers at 1200 metres. And the horse we're watching in replay is Count the Sessions at his debut in town. We'd previously seen this horse taking all before him in Albany, but came to town, led them up and just faded with a furlong to go.
Choice and Quintaro whipped them in into the straight. Count the Sessions headed for the judge at the 300, about a length 3/4 now. Ava Express closing down the margin, so's New Amsterdam, who let rip very quickly. Brother Paddy shifted ground up the track. Secret Statue coming with it. New Amsterdam's the leader, 75 to go. Brother Paddy, Secret Statue driving. Rawilla's lifting, tight go. Brother Paddy out near the middle.
There was Count the Sessions just fading late in that race, so drops back to 1200 metres on Wednesday. I think that suits the galloper. Powerful in for second, was good first up. I think the extra 100 metres suits for this galloper. He drew wide that day. He's drawn barrier 1 on Wednesday, and this is a horse that did break his maiden when racing in the box seat, so I think he can use that gate. Third, Exert, only a York last start winner, but a last start winner nonetheless. And I struggled figuring out who to put in for fourth. A number of the horses who I was entertaining have drawn wide. I was just worried from a map perspective where they would end up. So I've ended up putting our Pandemonium in for fourth. Count the Sessions on top from Powerful, Exert, and then our Pandemonium. Race number 5 is for the Class 1 stayers for the Schweppes Handicap. I must admit, I found this race probably the hardest on Wednesday's card because so many of these horses, in fact, almost the entire field, are untested at a staying journey. So it's a little bit of guesswork. The horse I wanted to look at in replay is Quintaro. We're going back 2 starts ago at this very track and distance, the Belmont 2100 metres. Let's take a look at Quintaro finishing fourth.
At the top of the straight. In behind those then next of all is Trade Thunder, followed by Regent Star battling. Lady Duckworth has found her way through the middle of the field. She's accelerating quickly. They come to the 250. Trade Thunder hit the front from Yowada. Lady Duckworth joins them now. Lady Duckworth for Parnham ranges up, grabs the lead, running on Juliet Unending wider out. They come to the 50. Lady Duckworth's in front. She's doing too well. Lady Duckworth, she's got...
Quintaro was working to the line nicely in replay. He then went to Pinjarra, 2300 metre event, and again finished fourth. So he's a horse with the miles in his legs, one that is sort of proven that he can indeed stay. He's had bad gates all prep. Wednesday is no exception, another wide alley. So Holly Watson will need some luck to go her way, but I just thought that with the big field there'll be a moving line and that perhaps Quintaro could be the one with the fitness in the legs. From Rebel Heart, backing up off 7 days from the Darren McAuliffe yard. English Heritage, I think, will be the target of a bit of support. I think there'll be a few people that like this horse. My only concern is that the English Heritage hasn't been past 1700 metres so far, and there's not a lot in the pedigree to suggest that the horse will necessarily stay, the mum being a stakes winner at 1200 metres, but we know that it so often does happen, and if there was a yard that this horse is going to get the staying journey, it is in the Lindsay Smith yard. So trusting Lindsay on this one. And then in for fourth, Savvy Dan, a horse that has won under over 2200 metres, so ticks that box there. Just the 60 kilos was a leveller that saw him down the order slightly. 5, 6, 4 and 3, the numbers for the stayers. The final two races on the program are both Class 3 1650 metre events. There were enough nominations to be able to divide the two, have two different divisions. So we'll look at the first of them now, race 6, the Salinger Handicap. And the horse we're going to have a look at in replay is Speedbird. Speedbird did it tough, 3 deep, no cover the trip, but had the tenacity to keep coming to the line and also just keep an eye out on the winner, Said No One Ever, because this is a horse that's going around in the last race.
Outburst quickly raced up and headed Janora. She sprints away 2 or 3 lengths. Material Witness is zigging and zagging. Pike goes back towards the inside, making ground. Timely Outburst in front. Smart Princess is starting to really lengthen late, but Timely Outburst is giving and giving plenty and goes home to win again. Timely Outburst makes it 3 for 3. Beat Material.
That was Speedbird 35 days ago. She's had the month to get over the tough run. Is a 2-time winner at the mile, and Jade McNaught on board. She's in form. From Smile For Me, gee, this was a brilliant ride by Ryan Hill last start. Drew barrier 5, but had 2 speed horses underneath him and just let the speed go and manages to slot across into the box seat. So the horse had the world perfect run, but I thought raced well, just missed to the verdict on that occasion. Blow Me Out comes out of that race, a subsequent winner, just the first time at a mile on Wednesday. Quintaro is a horse that I put in for 3rd at a bit of value. I just thought that whilst it doesn't read overly well on paper, 9th of 11th first up, he did run the fastest last 200 metres of the race, and you know this is a horse that will get better over further, and that's what he gets on Wednesday at the 1650. And then in for 4th, Golden Bonnie, the last start winner. My numbers for the 6th, 2, 4, 12 and 10. Race number 7 is the Mrs. Max Handicap, the final event of the day. And the horse I want to have a look at in replay is the 3-year-old filly Piccola Signora, finishing 4th in a Saturday graduation. And have a look at this ride by Lucky. He drew barrier 1 this day, had her on the fence and just managed to extricate away from the rail into open space on straightening, which we know is important for this filly. She likes a little bit of galloping room, and have a look at her finishing strongly.
Thank you very much as Try For Us drives through. Tiffer Spoken makes its move though. It's starting to run on very strongly. Further back, My Fair Valentine, Tiffer Spoken, Kerman Rock, Try For Us. Parnham really has to go for work, and Chili is hot is charging home along the rail. On the outside, Tiffer Spoken coming at it, the favourite towards the inside. Tiffer Spoken's in front. Tiffer Spoken.
A nice finish by Piccola Signora on that occasion, and I think the barrier is actually perfect for her on Wednesday. Barrier number 7, Lactar Rumley booked to ride, a 2-kilo claim, bringing the weight down to 55. Should be able to get her into open space and see her finishing off nice and strongly, hopefully to score in the last. From LA, this is a horse that was held up in the straight last start, but I like the way this horse was travelling into the race. Said No One Ever. We looked at this horse in replay when looking at race number 6. He's had a run since. He was 3 deep, no cover on that occasion, so I guess we can be forgiving of that effort. And Shake the Bloom, all the fastest last closing sectionals when first up, no trial. I've got in for 4th, so it's Piccola Signora in the last for me. From LA, Said No One Ever, and Shake the Bloom for 4th. It's now time to nominate my best bets on Wednesday's midweek card, and I'm with a pair of 3-year-old fillies, and we're hoping to bookend the meeting. First race, timescale, I just think she's going to be awfully hard to beat. Brings all the right form to a midweek assignment. And Piccola Signora, the horse that we just looked at in replay, I really like what she's doing and how she attacks the line. And if it is pretty soft, and by that stage of the day you've had horses all over that inside pad, I think she can be flying down the outside to score in the last. So let's hope that that can well be the case. I actually think it'll be a big day for 3-year-olds in general. When you actually go through the entire meeting, I could conceivably say that there's a 3-year-old that could win every single race. So we'll see how it all plays out. Hopefully we'll see you out on track at Belmont, but if not, I'll see you for Saturday's edition of the Box Seat.